Good afternoon. Honorable Chairperson, I rise to report that the quorum does exist for the Special Select Committee to commence business.
Thank you very much, Clark. It's been reported that a quorum does exist for the committee to start business. Those in favor, please say aye. Honorable members, can you take a look at the agenda to see if we need to make any amendments? If not, can I have somebody move that the agenda be adopted?
I move for the adoption of the agenda as it is.
Second, Honorable Chair.
All right, thank you very much. It has been adopted now. Now, we're going to do the introduction of members. My name is Honorable Alhaji Jimbo, a member of the Special Select Committee.
Honorable Sirif Sar, member.
Honorable Kewalang Fofana, member.
Yes, Council, you would like to introduce yourself also?
Good afternoon. Thank you, Honorable Chair. My name is Aji Senika, and with me is Mr. Tony F. Mendy.
Thank you very much, Council, and thank you very much, Mr. Camara, for coming. Good afternoon. On behalf of the Special Select Committee of the National Assembly, I welcome you to this sitting convened to inquire into the sale and disposal of the assets identified by the Commission of Inquiry into the financial activities of public bodies, enterprises, and offices as regards their dealings with the former President Yahya AJJ Jammeh and connected matters. You are appearing today in response to a summons duly issued by this committee to provide testimony on the matters within your knowledge that are relevant to the subject of our inquiry. Please be reminded that you are appearing under oath, and pursuant to the provisions of the 1997 Constitution of the Republic of Gambia, it constitutes a contempt of the National Assembly to knowingly withhold, misrepresent, or conceal any information relevant to the committee's work. Furthermore, in accordance with the parliamentary privileges, and any statement you make before this committee shall not be used against you in any court of law, except in cases of perjury, that is, if it is proven that you deliberately provided false information while under oath. You are therefore expected to cooperate fully and provide truthful, accurate, and complete responses to all questions posed to you, whether by the committee's legal counsel or by honorable members. The committee appreciates your presence and expects your utmost candor and cooperation throughout these proceedings. We want to thank you and want to welcome you. So, clerks, can we take him through the oath? Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon. I am asked to affirm. I, Aboubacarr S. Camara, do solemnly, sincerely, and truly affirm.
Honorable Chair, sorry. The witness stated I was asked to affirm. You can choose to swear by the Quran or the Bible or affirm. So you just choose which one you want. Okay.
Yes, I am Aboubacarr S. Camara, do solemnly, sincerely, and truly affirm that the evidence I shall give before this committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, thank you very much, Aboubacarr, for the affirmation. Now we would like to hand over the floor to the council, and we can proceed from there. Go ahead, council.
All right. Thank you, Honorable Chair. Welcome to the National Assembly. Please kindly state your full name for the record. Don't forget to turn on the mic and lift it a little bit. Yes. Your full name and current designation for that.
Thank you, Council. My name is Aboubacarr S. Camara.
Okay.
And I am the Director General of the Gambia Tourism Board.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
So the next, I'm going to put some things to you and you can confirm or deny. right? The first one being, do you confirm that you've received a summons to produce documents for this committee?
Indeed, yes.
Or maybe it'll be easier to just leave the mic on.
Oh, I leave it on.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine. All right. Do you also confirm that you received an invitation to make a statement to this committee's panel of, before this committee's panel of investigators?
Indeed.
And you did give a
I did.
statement unsigned?
Sure. Certainly.
Okay. And the last one being, you received a summons to appear and testify before this committee today.
Exactly.
All right. Thank you very much.
Most welcome.
Kindly give this committee an overview of the functions and the mandate of the Gambia Tourism Board.
Okay, given that now I'm dealing with the lawyers, I will read from the Act, word for word. The functions.
You are not dealing with the lawyers.
I'm
You're dealing with the lawmakers.
Okay, I'm dealing with the lawmakers and the lawyers. I will read word for word. The functions and powers of the board. The board is responsible for coordinating all stakeholders' activity within the tourism industry. Strategic development and growth of tourism, advising government on tourism development, performance and growth, develop tourism product development, marketing the Gambia as an attractive tourist destination through the use of appropriate promotional and marketing tools, ensuring that tourist facilities and amenities are of high class standard. Classify hotels according to the standard of facilities and services set out in the regulations. License and maintain registers of hotel, nightclubs, casinos, tourist guides, and any other tourism enterprise. Collect or ensure collection of fees, levies, royalties, as well as may be imposed by the board or with the approval of the minister, and recommend the declaration of tourism development areas and ensure their subsequent development. These are the functions and powers of the board.
All right. Thank you very much.
Most welcome.
So we can now commence your testimony. Proper. Just one last confirmation. Are you aware that after the change of government in 2016 or 2017 rather, the government of the Gambia established or issued a commission of inquiry to look into the financial dealings of the former president, Jammeh, and his close associates?
Yes, I was aware.
Okay. And you're aware that at the end of the commission's work, they prepared a report submitted to the president and later a white paper was published?
I was aware about that.
Okay, great. And now we can start. So before we get into the properties within the TDA that the Commission of Inquiry had identified as belonging to Jammeh or his associates, or even associated companies, please explain to this committee the land allocation process that the Gambia Tourism Board utilizes when an application is made or even before an application is received. What are the steps taken? What is it like for the Gambia Tourism Board to allocate land to an individual or a company?
Thank you. We have requirements for land allocation in the tourism development area. And the general requirements are the applicant must provide the following, which is a business registration certificate, and in the Gambia, for corporate applicants, you have memorandum and article of association, current stakeholders and current directors, assets and statement of the account of the last financial year. That is for the corporate applicants. 2, a feasibility study of the proposed project. 10 copies will be made with a soft copy in a flash drive. 3, payment of 5% development levy. 4, statement of support from bankers or financiers. 5, the applicant must be accompanied by a receipt indicating payment of a non-refundable fee of $50,000 for all the categories of development projects. 6, duly filled application form obtainable at the GT board at the cost of $5,000. 7, which is the last but not the least, is the architectural and concept design of the project. These are the requirements as far as I know.
Both for corporate bodies and for individuals.
Yeah, if you are a corporate, that is when you have a memorandum and article of association, current stakeholders and current directors, as well as asset and statement of accounts of the last financial year. That is for corporate.
Okay.
That is included in the corporate. Yeah.
And then for individuals?
Individuals, you don't need to bring this, just a business registration, feasibility study, payment of 5% development levy, statement of support from bankers. The application should be accompanied by a receipt indicating payment of a non-refundable fee of $50,000, a duly completed form at the cost, which is costing $5,000 from the GT board, and the architectural and concept design of the project.
Okay, thank you. You seem to be reading from a document. Are you still reading from your act?
Well, I'm reading from a guide, I think, which was probably developed at the level of the GT board, because I've not seen it in the act or regulations.
So it's an application guide.
It's a guide, yes.
Okay, that's what you're reading from.
That's what I'm reading from.
And Honorable Chair, I am applying that the witness provides this committee with a copy of the said guide.
Okay. Yes, your application is granted. You can
Thank
just
you.
give us a copy if you have another one. Yes.
No, this is the only one I have. Maybe I can take a photo of it and give it to you.
Yeah. So you can take it. Yeah.
Yeah, our secretariat will just photocopy and return your
Okay,
copy.
all right.
Thank you. Okay, so now you've listed out the required documentation that must be submitted by either individuals or corporate bodies for an application to
Indeed.
be considered
That's
for
right.
allocation of land within the TDA.
That's right.
So now explain to this committee now, after an application has now been submitted with all the required documentation, whether it's a corporate body or an individual, what steps does the GT board take?
Okay. There is a department called Product Development Department. They are the one that collect all the documentation. And then when they are complete, that is when they bring it to a subcommittee of the board called Land Subcommittee. And this Land Subcommittee will review the documentation and also the viability of the project before it is finally taken to the governing body for final consideration and approval or disapproval.
And the governing body would be?
The chairman
Okay.
and board members, other board members.
And the
yes.
board members.
Yes.
So all allocations are approved by the chair
Exactly.
and the board members.
It's the board, not even the chair, the governing body.
The board,
itself.
so the board essentially approves the allocation.
Exactly, yes.
Before the application before the application is forwarded to the board for deliberation and approval or rejection, I would assume that some due diligence would be done.
Indeed.
Okay. Can you explain the due diligence
Yes,
process?
that's where I said there's a department, a directorate, the whole directorate that is responsible for product development. We review the file, and if the head of that department okays it, that is when he brings it to the subcommittee of the lands committee. There is a board committee, a lands governing body subcommittee on lands.
Okay.
The subcommittee will review. If they are satisfied, that is when it moves to the next level, which is the governing body now. Now, the governing body will now decide whether that project is viable and has conformed to all the requirements. Then, if they want to, if they are satisfied, then they give approval. Or if they are not satisfied, they will not approve it and perhaps ask for more documentation or more explanation.
Okay.
Thank you.
So the subcommittee and the department's review, the reason I'm asking about due diligence is that in an instance where the applicant is a corporate body, on the application form, they're saying they are a corporate body. And at all times, memos and articles of said corporate body submitted?
Yes, will be submitted.
And are there any confirmations made with the registrar of companies, perhaps, to see whether indeed these corporate bodies are registered?
I'm not sure whether any confirmation, but I think they rely on the documentation that has been submitted.
Okay.
Yes.
So
And if they have any doubt, we have a legal department in-house, which they can clarify, they can inquire and even go to the company's registrar general to confirm.
okay, registrar of company.
Registrar of companies to
All
confirm,
right.
yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. Next question is, what is the duration of the leases granted by GT board?
50 years.
50 years. So GT board gets a lease from lands. When
The TDA is
TDA.
actually leased to
to GT board.
GT board,
Yes. For
and then we give a sublease.
a
of 50
sublease of
years.
50 years.
50 years.
And the initial lease that GT board holds, how long is it? What's
It's
the
ni-
duration?
it's,
99
no,
years.
no, according to the act, is indefinite.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Now let's come back to, I believe that is clear. So now let's come back to the properties that were identified by the Jana Commission.
Indeed.
So you've confirmed that you have knowledge that the Jana Commission, at the end of its work, published a report, and then the government also published a white paper. Sorry, submitted a report to the president, and a white paper was published 6
Indeed.
months after that.
That's right.
And the recommendations of the commission were accepted by the government. After this white paper publication, or maybe even after the commission completed its work, was GT board notified of the recommendations of the commission that the land within the TDA that were allocated to the former president are now supposed to be, or according to the recommendation, that should be cancelled? The leases should be cancelled.
To be cancelled.
Yes. Did GT board ever receive such notification,
never-
either from the Ministry of Justice or from the Ministry of Lands?
Not to my knowledge, to be very frank. I think I explained that to the investigators, that I've never seen such a letter. Although I used to hear that from the grapevine that all those lists have been cancelled and reverted to GT board or to government.
The grapevine.
Yeah, well, that's what I say. I used to hear, when you sit down, people tell you, especially investors, they are even some of them are even more knowledgeable than us when it comes to some of this information.
All right. I believe there's a document you submitted.
Yes, please.
It has a list of properties
Indeed.
that were identified by the Jana Commission as being part of or within the TDA.
That's right.
That were leased to the former president or associated companies.
That's right.
Right. And some of these leases have been cancelled. And now, how did GT board go about cancelling these leases if GT board did not receive notification that said leases should be cancelled?
No, I don't think it's the GT board, as far as I know, is the one that is responsible to cancel it. For me, even to be very frank with you, when I received this notification from Council Tony, it was a surprise to me to know that all these land areas used to belong to the former president. So that was when I sent it to my technical team, the technical team. That is when he identified some of all the lands that were allocated and are deemed to be part of the former leases of the president. Especially if you look at the cultural center, Code to Point. I would never have thought that Hatib Jani's land is part of the land, because that one was there for a long time. Kirgui, Palm Group, all along, I was thinking perhaps it was the Moab, which is the former, the Rascom. I thought that was the only one that was part of the former president's land. But when I got the information from Council,
sorry, let me just stop you there. We will get into every single property
Okay.
that was listed part of the part of the list that was identified by the commission.
That's
But
right.
I just want to tell you that please don't state the name of the investigators that you speak to, investigators
Okay.
of the committee.
No problem.
You can just say you spoke to the investigators or anyone you've had contact with within the assembly
Okay.
prior to today's hearing.
Well noted.
Yes.
Yes.
That's okay. Yeah, so we will get to every single property that
That's right.
We will deal with every one of them. They are not entirely too much. Sorry, I mean the list is not entirely too long.
Okay.
However, due to the size of some of the plots or the properties, multiple people can be allocated a parcel or a part of said property.
Okay.
Right? Okay. So you just mentioned something, even though you just mentioned RASCOM.
Yes.
We will talk more about them.
No problem.
But I just wanted to ask you, what is the process for cancellation of subleases by the GT board? Or has GT board never been faced with a situation where leases had to be cancelled?
Before I became the DG, I knew that there were cancellations of properties before I assumed office, and those lands were reallocated. Because when I became DG, we are still on the process of trying to cancel some leases, and what we have done now is to for our legal department to look at the justifications which they have done and now submitted to the ministry for onward transmission to the Minister of Justice for advice. That is what we are doing. But as far as I am concerned, or when I became DG, we are yet to cancel any lists. But I will have assumed that after due process been done by the legal unit, we will submit to the ministry. The ministry will send to the Minister of Justice for advice before perhaps cabinet makes a decision on it.
When you say cancel leases, in this instance, you mean the sublease?
Yes, the sublease.
Okay. Because the lease is
no, the lease is I don't think we have a power to cancel a lease.
No, of course you don't have the power to cancel lease. But what about subleases?
Yes, subleases. That's the process I just mentioned.
Explained. Okay, so can a sublease be cancelled by the Ministry of Lands without the knowledge of the GT board?
Well, if it is, it might have to be, they have the powers to cancel within the Act, our GT Board Act, to cancel any sublease that we have given, if they have the evidence. They have the mandate to do that.
Without informing the board?
Well, ordinarily, they could inform us, it's possible, but I've not gotten to any case where a sublease has been cancelled without notice.
Okay.
Yes.
What about allocation of land within the TDA? Can the Ministry of Lands allocate land within the TDA without the knowledge of GT board?
Well, under normal circumstance, we should be informed.
Okay.
Yes.
You said under
but
normal
I am
circumstances.
not aware of any land that has been allocated without our knowledge.
Interesting. So all the land that has been allocated within the TDA have been done by GT board?
As far as I know.
Is it Mr. Camara?
Yes, please.
Please answer the question.
Yes.
If you say as far as you know, then what I deduce from the answer would be that there is land allocated within the TDA without the knowledge of the GT board.
No, why I say so? Because when GT board has been there before I became DG. So as I said, when I assume office, I've not seen they do that. I've not seen that happen. It's possible before me, but as far as I know, as a DG, I've not seen any of that such.
Okay, very well. We'll come back to that point
No problem.
in a bit.
Council, yeah, just a second, because you asked a fundamental question.
Yeah.
Because I think what you are confirming is when you were a DG since 2020, we have not seen anyone that issued land
By the
at the
ministry.
GT, exactly, yeah. But are you aware of any instance before your arrival that somebody actually has given land from the TDA?
By the Minister of Lands?
Anybody?
Well, I am not aware. I've not,
You are
seen,
not aware.
I've not seen that.
All right,
yet.
thank you. You can continue.
And that is why I told the investigators that we have started to do a database, and the database will show you all the allocations and what requirement they submit, who gave the approval of all the allocations in the TDA, and the amount of land that is left, that is allocated, all will be in the database.
All right, Mr. Camara,
Yes, please.
you mentioned that in response to the committee members that you're trying to build a database,
Indeed.
which means you currently don't have a database
Oh.
where you keep of all the land within the TDA and who it's allocated to, whether it's allocated or not.
No, the system that we're working on is a GIS system, which will be able to map all the lands that have been allocated, the size of the land, allocated by whom, which year was allocated, and how much land is left in the TDA. I think that is the database that we're working on. But the list of allocations, that one we have.
Okay, but so currently a database does not exist.
Does not exist.
Okay. All right. So how do you keep track of the land that is allocated? What is left within the TDA? How do you keep track of that?
Yes, we have a technical department. As I said, product development is the department responsible for allocating for TDA land. They have a technical unit. These are people that are knowledgeable in land, and they know all the lands that have been allocated and the ones that are free.
Okay.
Using with the support of the Department of Fiscal Planning. So there is what is called a cadastral map, which is within the Department of Lands. So they will go, if they want to be sure, they'll go and find out whether that land is free or not free.
But also documentation is kept.
It's kept.
For record purposes.
Indeed.
All right. So when applications are made, are files kept for every applicant or every plot?
Indeed.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So you can always keep track or go back and revisit who applied for.
Very well.
Okay. Is there a limitation as to how many allocations can be made for an individual, or whether there is a duration between how often an allocation can be made, or someone can get an allocation every couple of years, every 2 years, or a limit to size? Is that available?
No, to the top of my knowledge, I've not seen anywhere written that an applicant should not apply more than once or should have this size of land.
Okay.
I think it's out of responsibility that the technical department would say, oh, for this project, I think this size of land is enough.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So it depends on the technical department to allocate the size.
Exactly.
Okay. Very well. Let's take a look at this is a document you submitted. It's a list of properties, location, registration details,
That's right.
and size, and then allocate it to the following projects.
That's right.
Do you have that with you?
Yes, I have it.
Okay, great. We can start then.
Yes.
So the first property, before we actually start, you mentioned that as far as you knew, the only property that was allocated to the former president was Rascom.
That was the knowledge. That was the knowledge on top of my head.
Okay.
When I met the investigators. That's what I was thinking.
So
when the investigators sent me a detailed list of all the landed properties of the former president,
yes,
then I sent it to the technical department. I did not add or delete what they sent me. And this is what they told me, that these are the lands that were part of the leases, the lands that were allocated within those leases.
So, Mr. Camara, how long have you been the DG at GT Board?
DG since 2020.
Since 2020.
June
and,
2020.
And what, before you became the DG,
I
you
was
were
in
working there?
in another department.
Within the GT Board?
Within the GT Board, yes. And then
And you did
very far from the head office.
And up to the point you came here,
Yes.
you did not know the properties that belonged to the former president,
Well,
or were associated with him as identified by the Janneh Commission.
no, I would not. I would be very frank.
That's interesting.
Because that is it is a technical area, and I don't think I have that knowledge to be able to know this is the land that was allocated, or this is the size of the land that was allocated. In fact, the GT board don't have a file of leases of the former president. I did not see one.
Okay. And after you appeared before the investigators to give a statement and you were informed about this, what did you do when you got back?
Immediately, I sent it to the technical department. Those are the ones that send me. After when they send me the leases, different leases, the technical department listed all the projects, GT board projects that are within those leases.
Okay.
But to be very frank, most of them, almost all of them, were done before I became DG. So that's why it's even difficult to know.
The allocations after they were cancelled?
No, all the projects that are mentioned in these leases,
yes,
various leases, were done before I became DG.
Okay. And the allocations, you have the dates?
Yes, the dates are there in the files.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very well. Let's go to the list.
Yes,
We
please.
start with number 1. Please read out what.
Yes, Gamex. This is
No.
the cultural center.
Yes,
Kotu.
the location of the property.
Yes, it's cultural center, Kotu, 0.6 hectares. And then allocated to Gamex, Hatib Jane's lease area, Akambatos, Kirgui, Palm Luxurious, Priority Leisure Group, Leisure, Crestone, Ibrahima and Ida Jacobson, Drame, TK Motors, Sarah Resort, Sky Limit, Gamex.
Okay. So these allocations, were they all after 2019, or did they precede
Most of them,
conclusion of the Janneh Commission?
No, there is what is called provisional allocation.
Okay.
That is when somebody completes the requirements and then they are asked to pay the 5%.
Okay.
So the actual date of signing of the letter is what we put in the database. But the allocation was already given to them before I became DG.
I see.
Yes. If you look in their files, there is what is called provisional allocation, where they are asked to pay the 5%.
Okay. And that's not the date that is entered in the.
No, we entered the date of the date the letter was written. The final allocation was signed by the chairman.
Okay. Interesting. You have your statement?
Yes, please.
Yes. Let's go to paragraph 7 and paragraph 8. It's quite long.
Yes. After I took office,
Yes.
this one,
Yes, please.
I found that a particular Kotu parcel described as the fence land near the duplex junction between the former Dream Park and towards Palmarima had a complex history. Before my tenure, that land was provisionally allocated to Moab investment on condition of paying 5% deposit.
All right, please stop there.
Yes.
Moab Investment, that's a company.
Indeed, it is.
Okay. And who are do you know the shareholders of that company?
I know the promoter.
Who is the promoter, please?
When Binta Sampo Sise, I used to know her as Binta Sampo Sise.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And please continue.
I insisted that they pay the deposit before we proceeded. They eventually paid. Subsequently, I received instruction where the then permanent secretary that the Minister of Lands took the position that the parcel should revert to the Minister of Information and Communication because it has been leased to RASCOM.
Who RASCOM is a corporate entity?
Well, it's a corporate entity.
Okay. And is it a registered company in the Gambia?
Well, I think it's an international company. It's an international company because I remember my recent trip to Abidjan. One of my recent permanent secretary showed me that office, the office that is RASCOM office in Abidjan, and she told me that in fact they've been having meetings there. It's a very key company.
Okay.
But that has nothing to do with the issue of the land. She just showed me because she happened to be working for that for the Minister of Communications then,
Sure.
into tourism. Yes.
All right, no
Yes.
problem. So I'm just going to let's just spend a little bit of time here.
No problem.
I have a couple of questions.
Sure.
Moab Investment.
Yes.
You stated that you insisted that they should pay the 5% allocation fee.
Indeed.
This was after you became the DG.
I became DG. Yes.
Okay.
Because already.
Can you remember when exactly it was?
Yeah, because a provisional allocation was sent to them
Okay.
before I became DG, and that before I work on their file or finalize their file for final signature of the chairman, they have to complete the payment.
Okay.
Yes.
You mentioned 5%. Is it 5% of what?
5% of the investment.
Of the total investment amount?
Yes, exactly, yes.
Okay. So let's say if the investment is 100 million, they pay 5% of the 100 million, for example.
Yes, sure, certainly.
All right.
Yes.
And if you say the Kotu parcel from Duplex Junction going towards Palmarima, so is that
from the final
Yes.
document that I received?
yes?
Yes, because I see documents, resorts that I never thought that they're part of the land that was said to be owned by the former president.
Yes.
Yes.
So now my question is, this Kotu point, it's from Duplex Junction.
Kotu Point.
Yes, Kotu Point or Kotu Cultural Center.
Well, it's from this Duplex Junction inland, yes, towards
Inland.
Palmarima, yes.
Towards Palmarima and
Yes.
goes inland.
Yes, indeed.
So which part of that Kotu point was allocated to Moab investment?
From the highway, see, from the
Okay.
highway of Duplex Junction towards where you have Sky Limit. You know, Assis Mall?
Yes.
Yes, that area, towards that area. In
So-
fact, the land is fenced, and if you look at it, you will be able to identify the land.
So all of that is allocated to Moab investment.
That was allocated to map investment.
And to this day, the allocation stands.
Well, because it was first, when I took over, it was under Moab. Then, as I said, we are asked to revert that because the Minister of Information challenged the issue within the government, and we were told through my permanent secretary that we should rescind the allocation that was given to Moab, and then let us reallocate them another place.
And that was done.
That was done.
So technically, it was allocated to Moab before 2020.
Before 2020, exactly.
Can you remember the exact date for Moab's allocation?
Unless I check the file.
Yes, please.
I'm not with the MOAP file here. The reason being is because the land now is called RASCOM. That's why it's not part of the list that we sent you. And we never allocated RASCOM.
All right. Honorable Chair, I am applying that the witness provides all documentation that the GT board has regarding MOAP investment and the allocation of land.
Okay, the application is granted.
Yes, sure.
But can we also clarify something on RASCOM?
Yes, please.
You are saying originally the land was allocated to RASCOM by GT board.
No, not GT board.
By who?
As I said, I don't know who allocated that land.
But do you have the records of
No,
that?
we don't even. I don't even have a file within GT board that is called RASCOM.
Yeah, because
I may not be with the GT board that have allocated that land.
yeah, because RASCOM is a company where the government of Gambia used to have shares.
Okay.
So we do not know exactly their
we don't
standing
have
right
a
now.
file on that.
You don't have any file on
Or
RASCOM.
to be very frank.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Even the investigator did ask whether I can produce. I said, well, I will check if there is, but I also advise that I think as per the powers that you have, you should be able to get the information from the right ministries.
Okay. Now, who put the fence there? Was it RASCOM or more?
RASCOM did defense.
They did the fence.
Yes, they did defense.
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry. Mr. Camara,
Yes,
you
please.
made mention about a lease document. It was leased to RASCON,
Yes, the list.
and they did the development.
They didn't do any development.
But was there any documentation within your files?
No.
With regard to RASCON?
No, I've not seen any document.
How do you confirm that RASCON was leased area?
That was when I was told that the land should revert
By who?
By my former permanent secretary.
Mr. Camara, what is
I
the
even
full
had a
name
discussion.
for RASCOM?
No, honestly, I don't know.
You don't. It's just called RASCOM.
I just know it as RASCOM.
Do you don't have any documentation in your
Not
office?
documentation.
All right, that's not a problem. Honorable Chair, I want to get into RASCOM to us to discuss, but I've been informed that lunch is here, so I don't know. Should we continue or do we take a break?
I think we can take a break and
Okay.
have lunch and also pray.
Pray,
Yeah,
yes.
but you know when you have Camara Kundas and food is around, so you know. So we can take a break, Mr.
Okay.
Camara.
When I'm at the receiving end,
Yes.
I don't have taste for food.
Oh, really?
Yes, so I'll wait until you complete. Then
No,
I-
you're invited for lunch, Mr.
No, I will
Camara.
not even eat.
No, you are fasting or what?
No, yes, I'll fast for today.
Okay, no problem.
Yes.
So
Alright.
then we allow our brothers, Sar Kundas, to go and enjoy the lunch and pray. Fasting, okay, that's fine. So I think
Okay.
it's okay.
We can
take a
come
break.
back at 3:30.
Yeah, we can come at 3:30. Yes.
All right.
Thank you very much. So meeting adjourned.
Thank you. Do I also go out and relax? Okay, thank you.